Hi y'all, this is House Guest and I am your host, Kenzie Elizabeth. Think a Gen Z wannabe Martha Stewart meets Dolly Parton trying to live in a Nancy Meyers movie in her 20s. We talk all about life, relationships, navigating your 20s, closing out the bars, or waking up at 5 a.m. depending on our vibe that week. Ultimately, living our best lives and figuring it out along the way. So come hang out. Sometimes I have guests on who do really cool things, some of my best friends, or it's just me and my house that I spend way too much time in. So let's get into the show. Hello, everyone. I keep trying to say hello, my house guest, but I'm just not that girl who has you guys are house guests. If you listen to the podcast, you're a house guest. Hello, house guest. My house guest. I don't know. Anyways, today we have another episode that I recorded when I was in New York. We have Anna Barger. I've loved following her this year. She has incredible content. I think I found her originally from her New York City grandma, which you guys know I love a grandma. I myself am one. And I loved that she just has this random grandma that she gets dinner with. We go into the story on the episode, okay? And she just lives a very independent life. She goes on solo trips. She lives her day-to-day very independently. And I just think she's so cool. So I wanted to have her on the show to talk all things independence, navigating your 20s, your New York grandma. I know so many of y'all already love her on socials. She's just so cool. She's one of those people that I was around that I was you're just cool. You want to be like her when you meet her. Also, she brought me flowers to the studio, guys. She's actually an angel. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Without further ado, let's welcome Anna on to the show. Guys, I'm here with Anna today. We are in New York City. We are experiencing a bit of a heat wave. We're looking for some ice cubes.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
It is rough. I don't have a portable fan. Maybe we should invest in that.
We should. We should get the neck ones that I was just telling you about. Have you all seen, I'm sure you have, they're really big in Texas, the fans that you get on Amazon that go around your neck, and they look so lame, but they're so worth it. And also, if we just get everyone on board, this is how I feel about slow drivers too. Okay, hear me out. If everyone just collectively decided to drive faster, we wouldn't have to be sitting in traffic.
That's true.
Everyone just collectively decided that we're going to wear these little neck fans, we wouldn't all look lame.
Yeah. Is it like a necklace?
Kind of.
Okay. I've never seen it.
It's honestly if you were to put your headphones, your AirPods, on your neck.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Got it.
That's more of the vibe.
That's the vibe.
Okay, so you are one of my favorite content creators currently.
Thank you.
Obsessed. Before we get into all of that content and just you and your solo dates and, all the things, we need to talk about your New York City unrelated grandma.
Yes.
I am obsessed with this entire trope. This is my favorite thing on TikTok. My listeners know that I truly am a grandmother. And I hang out with my own grandmother and her friends all the time. And I love an old person. When I see an old person, it brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So you're living my dream because even now, I live near my grandma and I would love... I just have this dream of my neighbors who are old, coming over for dinner and stuff. I just don't know how to initiate that. So I need you to give us the background on finding your New York City unrelated grandma.
Yeah. So I used to work at a gym about a year and a half ago, and she was a frequent at the gym, and she was so cute, the cutest grandma I've ever seen in my life, other than my grandma, of course, Granny Anna. So we would just chat, and then since she came all the time, I developed a relationship with her, and we'd chat about anything and everything and boys and life, and she's so wise. So it's really nice to have a grandma in the city because my grandma is in North Carolina. So you can make your own unrelated family in wherever you move to,
No, and normalize finding an unrelated grandma. Seriously.
I know. Yeah.
So who initiated the first plan?
Oh, when I left that job, I was like, I'm going to miss you so much. And so she's like, here's my email. So I got her email. And so we Gmail. We don't text, we Gmail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think she texts in general?
I don't know how much she texts.
Okay.
But her emails are really cute. She adds emojis.
Aww.
So that's really cute. But yeah, I need to email her. I haven't heard from her in a minute.
You should check in.
Yeah. I love it because there's so many old people in New York City and you just want to help them out. So it's really nice to have her in my life. And I know whenever I see an old person too, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so cute.
They're so cute. Yeah. When I see an old person, something inside of me, it just does something.
Yeah.
Especially if you see one that's working or something that I actually I can't even look.
Or a couple and they're holding hands.
I know.
So cute.
I always want to like know their stories.
Yeah.
I love the unrelated grandma thing though, because I like to learn from people who are older and wiser, which would pretty much be every single person on this planet to me, like on the wiser aspect. But like, I love that because you can learn from their mistakes and not make them.
Right.
Or you can listen to them and still make the same mistakes, but at least you have someone to go to. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and with her, since she's unrelated, I can just tell her my boy drama, and, you know, it isn't going back to the family, you know?
No, that's actually so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, give us a little background on your, like, content journey.
Yeah, so I moved to New York City to work in late night television. I didn't think I was going to be a content creator. It didn't cross my mind at all, but I always loved video, so that's why I was working at Independece. And then I started making little vlogs of my days in New York City on the weekends, and some of those started doing well, and I was like, oh, like I really love storytelling and the production and being in front of the camera. And so I eventually started doing it part-time, and then I went full-time about 6 months ago. It's happened really quickly. It's been so much fun. I've had so many opportunities this year that I couldn't have imagined even a year ago. It's wild how it can just change your life.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now doing it?
Good. I've always kind of wanted to be my own boss, and so being able to make my own schedule is really great. There's so many positives to it. So yeah,
it's fun. I feel like especially the first 6 months. I mean, you've been traveling and doing so many things.
Yeah.
How, like, I want to talk a lot about your like solo dates and independence. The girlies who listen, the girls and the boys who listen, they love to talk about like navigating your 20s. Obviously, relationship topics come up all the time because that is, you know, I'm like, unfortunate. I hate dating, so like it's unfortunately part of navigating your 20s. I actually hate it. Like, I'm so jealous of the people who love to date. Like, I love to have someone just like fall into my lap on accident and then we fall in love and we date forever. Like, that's
ideal.
That's my preference in dating. You know, I don't like to go out and I don't like to do all that stuff. But I want to talk about solo dates and independence, because I feel like you're just someone who's so independent and just like doing whatever you want. And I love that.
Yeah, it's really set the bar high for dating because I take myself on really cute dates. I've always been pretty independent and pretty self-entertaining. So I'm never bored. I always have something that I want to do. Like, I'll take myself to the Met. When Taylor Swift came out with Speak Now, Taylor's version, I took myself to the Met and listened to the whole album. So yeah, I come up with some pretty cute things to do.
What are some of your tips to start going on solo dates?
I think going to dinner by yourself is a little intimidating. So starting out maybe like at a museum or something that you're comfortable doing is how I started. And then you realize no one's really looking at you. No one really cares about what you're doing. And that's really freeing. Once you get over that hump of no one's really judging you, everyone's in their own lane. That was the hump that I needed to get over.
Have you ever read The Artist's Way?
No.
You would eat this shit up. You would love this, okay? It's this book by Julia Cameron. Are you familiar with Morning Pages?
No.
This is where Morning Pages was invented, but it's like a 12-week journey. And I feel like the book, I don't like the marketing on the book. I feel like they could have really gone, it could have gone better, okay? So basically with the book, it's a 12-week journey. And the whole idea is basically to like get out of like a creative rut and like find creativity again. I think it's a really good practical tool to use to like discover yourself, get out of maybe a rut. It does obviously help with your creativity, but I think it helps with every aspect of your life. Like, if you are lost in your 20s, you need to do The Artist's Way, and you read one chapter a week, and then you do morning pages every single morning. So you wake up and you write for 3 pages straight, pen to paper. You don't take your pen off the paper. Even if you're writing, I have nothing to write about. Like, you were just getting everything out.
Okay.
And you're also, it's nice because things that you didn't even realize were bothering you, and I mean things that you literally would have never come to like your actual like conscious mind, will come out on paper. And then you're like, oh, that's why I'm responding that way to something, or that's why that bothered me. Or
take it straight to therapy with you.
literally. I'm like, I will actually pull it out when I go to therapy. And I'm like, well, I actually wrote about this. So clearly this came to mind, you know? And then once a week they have you go on a solo date.
Oh, cute.
So you would really love it, but it's such a good tool, I think, in your 20s especially. I also think when it comes to like dating and relationships, I am no expert by any means, but I do think it's important to like create a life that you really love.
Yeah.
Because one, it's important to actually like being alone. And then two, I think the life that you love will also attract the right partner for you.
Yes.
So I do think that solo dates are so important. I love to go when I'm traveling, if I'm like in between things, to like bring my Kindle to a bar and like sit at the bar and read. It literally makes you feel like you're in a movie.
Yes. Yeah. I like to sit in a park with a nice snack.
You kind of give movie vibes. Like, I feel like your life is a movie. Like, I don't know what other movies Blake Lively has been in. I don't know why it's just coming to mind. But like the Blake Lively of it all in a movie, like the really like mysterious, cool, pretty girl that everyone's like obsessed with. But like you don't realize that everyone's obsessed with you.
Aww,
you know what I mean?
Really sweet.
That's how I feel. That's just like what I'm thinking.
Thank you. I love that you think I'm like a little mysterious.
Do you not feel mysterious?
I feel like, especially since we're like being on the internet, it's hard. Well, I guess, yeah, sure.
I feel like you're mysterious.
Thank you.
Like, I really, really do.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on dating right now? Like, how are you feeling with dating?
It's fine. I'm also in my 20s, so, you know, it's a little rough, but yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. I'm not on the apps. I'm not on any dating apps. So if anyone sees me on the apps, that's not me.
If anyone sees me on the apps, don't do that.
That's fake.
DM me on Instagram.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, people do DM me on Instagram. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. Not with like the amount of people that are asking me out. Not like, oh my gosh, so many people are asking me out. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like the idea of people having access to you and just in general. And I get it.
And then also now being on social media with people seeing, like, since I post about my life, it's like an uneven balance I don't know.
Yeah,
like
because they can know so much about you. And then they can be some random finance bro who's on private. And you know nothing about them. It's horrible, actually. Yeah. If you were going on a date with someone whose life was on the internet, how much of it would you look at before the date?
I feel like you'd have to be disciplined enough to hold back from that. You know?
I think you should be disciplined, but I think I'm watching every single thing. Every single piece of content.
We're just girls. What are we supposed to do? Like, my mom is going to look you up on LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
And do a background check. Like, sorry, it's going to happen.
That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah. We're going to do a quick Google search.
I would love to be the person who's like, no, I want to figure out who they are when I meet them. I don't want to go in knowing everything about them.
Yeah.
But I just know at the end of the day, I just wouldn't be able to do it. There's just no way.
No, there's no way.
No way at all. Okay, so going back to being independent, all right? Do you feel like you've been independent your entire life? Like, take me through kind of the journey.
Yeah, I've always been pretty self-entertaining, but I think there just came a point where I was like, I'd be in my room, and if I stayed in my room for too long, I was like kind of sad, and I was like, no, I can go out and do things. I don't need other people to be with me to have experiences. And so that's kind of how the solo date started. I was like, oh shoot, I can go to, since I was in New York, I was like, I can go to the Met on a Friday night by myself. And then once I got over that hump of, you know, being nervous about being seen alone, that's kind of sparked my independence in my 20s, you know?
How do you get over that hump?
Confidence, I think, is a practice.
I do too.
It's a daily practice. Yeah, putting yourself out there, I think, is the best way to get over that hump. Is like, you just have to, it really just takes a few seconds of courage. I know that's like so cliche, but yeah, just having a little bit of courage, putting yourself out there, and then I think that helps you get over the hump, you know?
I agree.
Yeah. You have to talk to yourself. You do. You have to be like, okay,
like
we're going, you know? If you want to talk to someone, if you want to meet someone, okay, I'm going to walk up and here we go. So
I love what you said about how confidence really is a practice. The quote that I have repeated on this podcast probably about 723 times is a quote by Ed Milet, okay? And it's confidence. You love Ed Milet?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, amazing. He said confidence is built by making promises to yourself and keeping them. So that's why I think solo dates are so important. And I used to go on solo dates a lot more frequently. I just like haven't really been leaving my house much. But like I do love a solo date. But there's so many reasons why I think every girl in their 20s needs to be going on solo dates. One, it builds confidence.
Yes.
You're making a promise to yourself and you're keeping them. If we make plans to get lunch, I'm going to show up because I made a commitment to you, so I'm going to show up to get lunch, right? But if I make lunch plans on my own, I'm a lot less likely to because I'm like, oh, it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. But what you're subconsciously telling yourself is that, oh, you don't really matter because you would matter to me because I want to go fulfill my commitment to you, but for whatever reason, the commitment that I made to myself is less valuable.
Right.
So you're weirdly assigning value. So I think it's really important to make yourself go.
Right.
2, you are learning how to live life on your own and you're gaining independence, which is incredibly important. And then 3, again, you're building a life that you want to live by yourself without other like outside voices, if you will.
Yeah. Having that outside validation can be dangerous in your 20s, you know, being able to be alone. And that's really what's helped me kind of navigate like my career and what I want to do is like having that alone time. Obviously you want to have balance, but being able to make your own decisions on your own terms has kind of been a game changer for my life. So yeah, solo dates, girl.
It's freeing.
Yeah.
Give us your top 5 solo dates for someone who's new.
Oh my gosh. It really depends on what you like to do. Like if you're like crafty, I'm not very artistic, but I'll still watercolor like an orange or a strawberry. I love to go out and take my paint set to the park, museums. Shoot, I'll do anything. I really like the other week I was in Ireland. I went to like the cliffs. I went on a bus to like the cliffs of Moher. I don't know how to say it.
Listen,
people on the internet were trying to tell me how to say it. I still don't know how to say it. There's differing opinions. But yeah, I got on a bus in Ireland and like, cause I wanted to go see, you know, the cliffs over the ocean. So I really will qualify anything as a solo date. I'm like, I'm going to get a coffee. Sure. I'll make it a solo date. Some people be like, that's not a solo date. I'm like, well,
no, it actually is. It's all about perspective.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Maybe if you open your eyes, then you can see that too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Take a journal or whatever to a coffee shop and like have your little moment, you know?
Love.
Yeah.
I love how you talk about self-entertaining.
Yeah.
I love that term. I think it's so fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk to the girls who are listening to this.
Yeah.
Who are like, okay, like I want to do that, but I like simply don't know how. Like, how do you become someone that self-entertains? It's so easy for us all to just sit in bed and, like, put Netflix on, which can be fun, sure. But, like, I don't personally like doing that much. So, like, how can someone go from just kind of letting life happen to them to making things happen, you know?
Well, first of all, you got to put on a cute outfit.
Okay, that's
that you
number
feel
one.
confident in.
That's huge.
Honestly, that is a game changer. Just getting dressed and feeling confident in yourself. That's a start. Make a list. I'm a list maker, so things that you want to do that you haven't done. I'm a big summer bucket list person, so like having a little bucket list to yourself, like every season, I think, of things that you want to do to check off to keep yourself accountable. I think you just have to keep yourself accountable, like you were saying with it.
I think even scheduling things in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a, like, Google Calendar person.
Girl, me too.
Yeah.
Put it in the Google Calendar.
Yes. Yeah. If it's not in the calendar, like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, my time of, like, if I need to, like, read and journal in the morning, it's in my Google Calendar. Like, I need it to happen. I love that. Yeah. So I love lists. I'm also a list girl. I think even for me, like, I have, like, boards on TikTok. Like, I will save to, like, different collections.
Yes.
Of random things that I want to do. So I'll do that for solo dates. I'm like, oh, that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I'm doing a solo date this week. I think really anyone listening who's like, I want to get into the solo dates, you need to just make a commitment to do them 1 for 12 weeks. Yeah. I'm just copying the artist's way.
Yeah.
And you need to schedule it into your calendar.
Yeah.
And make a list of different things to do. But it doesn't, I like what you said about how it doesn't need to be like going to dinner first alone, because I think that like that definitely is the most overwhelming of all of them.
Yeah.
But like a park is so easy. And
have
it's
a little
like
picnic.
Yeah, have a little picnic. It's not as overwhelming. A museum. Have you ever done a concert alone? Like fully a concert alone?
Girl, I just went to the Eras tour alone.
Please tell me everything.
It was so good.
Do you like make friends everywhere you go?
Yeah, like at the Eras tour, I met 2 girls that were by themselves, and we like took pictures of each other all night. We were like together all night. This other woman thought we were together, took a picture of all of us.
Wait, that's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, take us through going to a concert alone. Was this your first one ever?
Yeah. So I was a little nervous, but I mean, I got my ticket. And Taylor Swift is expensive, so I was like, you know, I'm not gonna try to like figure out going with someone. I'm going alone. I'm going to London. I went to London alone. I had a few friends that were in London that I met up with, but yeah, I got my ticket, and then once I got down there, we kind of figured out. Some other girls were like, "Are you alone?" I was like, "You're alone?" Yes. So that's before the show even started. I had 2 new friends. So
wait, I think
that. just that initial like starting the conversation is the hardest part. But then once you got that, I think also having just a warm demeanor really, I don't know, I'm kind of, I guess, a bubbly person or whatever.
Yeah.
But
very approachable.
Yeah. I don't think I'm very intimidating.
Yeah, it's like when you go out to the bar and everyone's like, oh my God, I can't, like, why does no one talk to me? But like you're sitting in the corner on your phone and you're like, you're just not giving off the energy that you need to be giving off.
Yeah.
I think you just have to start looking at people and smiling and making eye contact.
Yeah.
Which sounds like so stupid, but I really think that is what you have to do.
Because at the end of the day, people are in their heads too, thinking, oh my gosh, is this person going to, is anyone going to talk to me? So if you start it, then sure,
Also, this is weird. I'm a very bubbly person. Like, I'm very talkative as well. But I think the easiest way to start talking to someone is to compliment them on something they're wearing.
Yes.
It's so easy, especially now that brands have, like, their own entire personalities.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I love that sweater. Like, I love, if it's, like, Daily Drills. Like, I love Daily Drills. Like, oh, my God, do you follow Kennedy? Do you follow Mary Ralph? Do you... Whatever. And then like from there, it starts a conversation. And it's so much easier because you immediately found one piece of common ground.
Right.
So just compliment everyone and see where it goes.
Yeah. Too, especially if you're in like girly pop central, like girly pop hotspots.
Totally.
Like a cute cafe. I was in a cute cafe in Paris the other day, and there was a girl taking pictures. Like, do you want me to take your picture or whatever? And she's like, yeah, I can take yours as well. And we started chatting. And so, yeah, finding those like girly spots.
I was wondering when you were traveling alone, how you were getting those amazing photos.
People were like, who's taking your picture?
I was like, does she have like a secret boyfriend with her or
my God, no,
like,
I love that. People like,
is he mysterious?
He's mysterious. Yeah.
That's
that's it. But no.
Are you setting up the photo, like the frame prior to that, or are they just naturally that good?
There was one that was like naturally that good, but I actually, because I'm a content creator now, I know other creators in these different countries. So like I met up with girls in almost every country that I visited. I went to 6 different places. So I was in Amsterdam and London. I met up with content creators. Yeah. Oh
my God, I love Amsterdam.
I have a content creator friend I've been following for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And we were just starting out, both of us. And now we're both full-time content creators. So it was really cool to meet her in person and be like, I'm so proud of you, girl. Like,
that is so awesome.
Yeah. So she showed me around Amsterdam and all the cute, not coffee shops, because that's different in Amsterdam.
I also figured that
the cute
out.
cafes with matcha and pastries. That's different. Yeah.
Amsterdam is one of my favorite places, if not my favorite place I've ever been.
So gorgeous. I love biking around.
So cool. You are so the cool biker girl. Like you are. By biker, I mean like a literal bike, not like on a motorcycle.
Yeah. I biked here actually.
Yes, exactly. Like you were just so like that cool girl.
Oh my God, thank you.
You really are. Do you have any tips for solo travel?
Oh my God, people have been asking me that just because I've been solo traveling, and this past month is really the first time I've ever solo traveled. Girl, I just kind of was going with it. So I don't know, it's hard because since I am online, I would post on my Instagram story like your Stockholm recommendation, your Dublin recommendation, your Copenhagen. So I got recommendations from that, but I don't know. The internet is useful. You can look up on TikTok like places to go in every city.
Did you ever feel unsafe at all?
No. I also wasn't really listening to music as much when I was solo traveling because usually like around here I'll like have my headphones in when I'm walking. I was more aware, I think. And then also having people in most of the cities. To Stockholm, I was totally by myself, scootering around the city. But in most of the places, I did have someone I could reach out to. But yeah, it is nerve-wracking a little bit, like being like, I was like, shoot, I'm like completely alone in a new country. But it was rewarding at the end. I was like, damn, like I did that. Like, my flight got canceled at 4 a.m. and I figured it out. And I'm lugging my, 100 pounds of clothing. Yeah, since I was shopping all along. But I was proud of myself afterwards. Yeah, that's something about solo travel and solo dates,
Totally. You should be proud.
Thank you.
There's this business, Went There, Loved That. Went There, Loved It. I don't know why I always, names I always forget. Anyways, they have really good travel guides, and I use them for, I believe Amsterdam and London. So if anyone's listening to this and they're wanting to solo travel or just you're just traveling in general, those guides are so worth the money because they also have like a full itinerary if you like want to go through it. But they have it for like so many different countries. I think that they even have it maybe for places in the States. I'm not sure, but they have really good stuff.
I feel like you're either the really organized girly who's got a whole entire Google Doc of what you're doing, or you're winging it. And I was winging it the whole time. So it went well though, you know, but
I feel like this stuff just all comes so naturally to you. So you're just kind of like, I mean, I just did it, you know? Like growing up, were you always this way? Like you moved out, you went to New York, you wanted to start into, like, that's a like scary thing to do. How did you push past any fear or reservations that you had?
I think just being so focused on my goals is kind of the overarching theme of my life. And once you're focused on that, it's like, okay, I'm not really thinking about the fear factor of it. I'm like, how am I going to get this done? And also I love problem solving, you know? So figuring out how to get to New York was just a fun challenge for me. And also I'm very much an optimist. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll work out. Like, even if something bad happens, I'm like, it's all part of the plot. It's all part of, you know, the story. So
I love that perspective. That's what I try to be like, even if something is not working out in that moment, I either try to think like, oh, it's still gonna happen. This is again just like part of the plot, or like 5 years from now, I'm gonna be so grateful that it didn't happen. Right. Like if this is like the easiest thing to compare it to, like a breakup, and it's like, well, at the time when you're heartbroken, but then a couple years later, you're like, thank God I'm not with that person.
Yes, breakups, getting like fired or let go from a job, anything like that seems like such a setback or like so gut wrenching. It's like I look back and I'm like, thank you. That was like the biggest favor you could have done, you know?
No, quite literally. And also I've realized that like even as much as I think that I know what I want in life, some of the things that I wanted the most that didn't work out were the greatest things that happened to me. So also when I think I'm really set on it, for me at least, because I'm such a, I mean, I love Ed Milet. Like I'm such a like goal-oriented person. I have huge, like big dreams. I want to do so many different things. I've had in my 20s, I've had to learn that like maybe I don't know everything. I know it's shocking. Right. Okay. Yeah. But like maybe I really don't know everything and like it's going to work out how it's supposed to work out. And I need to focus on trying to have a little bit less control and let life happen, because then I'm going to end up happier. Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. What has been your biggest like struggle or hurdle in your 20s? Or just something you've maybe not loved? Like, for example, I don't love uncertainty, and that's your entire 20s, so that's tough. Yeah. That's something that's hard to get over in your 20s. For me, it was after graduating, because I'm 25 now. 23 is a hard age. Oh my God, it was the worst year of my life. This entire podcast for an entire year, I was like, this is the worst year ever. Yeah. I'm like, it was awful. 23 is an age. But just going into post-grad, thinking that I knew what I wanted to do, and being so goal-oriented, getting, you know, a really coveted job that was really cool, and then realizing, shoot, that's not what I want to do, and like hitting that wall of being like, okay, I have to accept that, and I have to be open to doing something else. And I'm like, I'm 23, like I can do so many different things. So really like letting go of the expectation I had for myself and accepting that that's not the route that I wanted to go has led me to where I am today. And I'm so much happier with what I'm doing now, letting go of those expectations. I want to go into that more, because we talk a lot about like changing your mind, and I also have changed what I've wanted to do career-wise time and time again. I've always been in like the content creator space, but I've changed what I've wanted to do on like my life period. But as someone who's very goal-oriented, it was really hard for me to accept that I actually didn't want to do what I thought I wanted to do, that I've been working towards. Right. So how did you push past that? Because I can't imagine it was just an easy thing to do. Yeah, I think part of it too is feeling like the people around you are perceiving you as not knowing what's going on, but that's your 20s, is not knowing what's going on, and really embracing that and just having fun with it and being like, okay, I'm going to try a bunch of different things. I'm going to, figure it out and
and be okay with being in that phase of figuring it out.
Yeah.
Even though it's uncomfortable. That was the hump that I needed to get over.
And also realizing that really no one knows what they're doing.
Oh my God. Yeah. The people that seem like they know exactly what they're doing, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about you.
I don't know about yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what I realized the more I started talking about it online.
Yeah.
That was what I took away from it, was that everyone is in the same boat.
Yeah.
Especially at this age. But I don't think it ever necessarily goes away. I think you stop caring as much about it for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that you obviously no one ever has it fully figured out. So
Yes.
in different decades of your life, I'm sure that is heavier in different areas.
Yes.
But in your 20s, because it's really kind of, your 20s are really at the start of your actual life.
Yeah.
It's uncertain in every area.
Right.
So it's really just everything all at once.
Yes.
And even when you have like one area figured out, you can easily, like, I can find myself having like so many things that I feel like are actually going well, but like the one area of my life that isn't working out is like what I will find myself focusing on. So I also hated being 23. It was, well, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I personally hated being 23. 23 was also a hard year, okay? And I had the same experience. Like once I just decided I was going to lean in, just like have fun, 24 was great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I had like a little bit too much fun maybe, but like it was good.
Yeah.
But it was just hard for me because I think it's like a control thing. You know, like a little bit of like an anxiety sort of vibe.
Yeah.
It's not fun at all.
Yeah.
Let's talk about living in New York in your 20s.
Yeah, girl.
This is the dream. And you love it.
Yeah. I've been wanting to live here since I was 16.
Wow. Okay, so take us through like your entire experience. Like what have been your highs and your lows of living in New York?
Where do we begin? I've been here for 3 years. I've had so many different experiences because I've had so many different jobs between television and content. So just embracing that and going with, you know, whatever comes my way. Yeah, there's so many different opportunities in New York. That's what I love about it. There's so many cool people here. I meet people all the time.
How have you mainly made new friends in your 20s in a new city?
That's hard. I think to start out, you want to find something that you like to do, and then, you know, then you'll find people that also have the same interest. But yeah, it's definitely hard. Some people will reach out to other people on Instagram too, if you see another girly in your city or like at a cafe or something. I don't know. I feel like I'm collecting good friends like crystals. Like, you know, I don't have a specific friend group. I have a bunch of really great friends.
I'm a floater. That's what we talk about that a lot.
Yeah. And when I first moved here, I think too, for girls who are moving to new cities, to just realize that real friendships take time and you're starting from zero after college, truly, unless you move with your friends. So giving yourself the grace that it's going to take time to find real friends again, you know, in a new place. And also that ties in with the solo dates. It's like, okay, you know, you can take yourself on a solo date and then, you know, go on a whatever, you know, a new friend date too, and like mix that in. Being able to be independent in a new place is important. So yeah, that really helped me when I first moved to the city. But yeah, finding similar interests too with girls and mutual friends or wherever.
I feel like you just have to be open too, because I have made so many friends off Instagram, obviously.
Yeah.
So I've always said like, and I don't even mean like creator friends. I just mean people in general. Like I am the first to like DM someone and be like, oh, we should go get lunch. Like one of my best friends, Liz, who I hang out with, she's moved since, and I like travel to see her. We talk all the time. Like she's one of my closest friends in the entire world. I like DM'd her on Instagram, and that's how we became friends. People are too afraid to do that sometimes, and I just don't feel that way. I'm like, oh, just do it. Like you want someone to do that for you. Like I don't think it's
what do
weird
you have to lose? They don't reply. Okay,
yeah. Then it's like
what's gonna happen to you? Nothing.
Yeah, and it's like you were being a nice person. Like it's not. It's literally not a big deal.
Exactly. If you like lead with like warmth, then what are people gonna respond? Like if they're cold, it's like, okay, well maybe you're having a bad day. I don't know what's up with you, but but yeah, I have the craziest story about how I met one of my friends in New York.
Wait, what is it?
So I was running the one time out of the month that I decide to run, whether I'm like in a bad mood or something like that. This is really what makes me run. I went on a run like a year and a half ago, almost at this point. And there was a girl on the West Side Highway, is a popular running spot in New York. And she was crouched over by one of the fences, and people were walking by her and I was like, she doesn't look very well. So I turned around and I was like, hey, are you doing all right? And she was not. To make a long story short, she needed to go to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And so I like FaceTimed her sister and contacted her friends, called the ambulance. I got in the ambulance with her. I'm like, I'm going to meet her friend at the hospital and then I'll run home. And I was like texting on her phone and stuff. And once we got into the ambulance, she was doing a lot better. And her laundry app was my laundry app. And I didn't want to be weird, but I was like, do you live, and we live in the same building.
Stop.
We're the same age. And so we're good friends, and her roommate is also one of my good friends. So yeah, she ended up like DMing me and being like, hey, I'm moving to like the building next door. Want to come to my house party? And we've been friends ever since. So yeah, she is like Claire ambulance girl or something like that in my phone. You know how you save numbers? I never change the contacts. It's always like really random, like how we met. So I can remember.
Ambulance girl is crazy.
Ambulance girl. And then Addison ambulance girl roommate is.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. I have funny contact names.
Wait, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, I can't believe that everyone was just like letting her stand there and she needed to go to the literal hospital.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was like, if I were in her position, I would want a girl like my age to help me. So
like one of the girlies needed to show up.
Exactly. Absolutely. I was like, oh shoot, this is okay. We're doing it.
Wait, I love that though.
Yeah.
What is your ideal like New York routine? You have a day off. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. I need more of a routine. It's really hard in this job having a routine because it's always something different, but I am a Pilates girl now. I have my yoga certificate, I'm 200 hour certified.
That is so you. This is what I mean. You're the girl out of the movie, the cool girl. Yes.
Random fun facts. Yeah. I taught yoga sculpt for like 2 years in the city. So that's also how I made some friends. I had the Britney mic on. I was playing Rihanna and Katy Perry and Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Would you ever like teach again for fun?
Sure.
You should.
Why not? Okay, why not? Yeah. No, I've just been like really busy. Sorry.
Just day off.
I went on a tangent.
New York. Perfect. Tangents welcome.
Yeah.
Tangents welcome would have been a good podcast name.
Oh my God, I love that.
I like that. Someone can take it. I'm sure actually it probably already is taken. Just a day off in New York, like things that you like to do.
When it's nice outside, I feel like I need to be outside for as long as possible. And also, I'm such a roamer. I love roaming around. New York is the best city to just roam around.
What neighborhood do you prefer to roam in?
The West Village. You have to say the.
The, yes. I've heard the controversies.
Yeah.
I've heard the discussions.
Yeah, I live around there. There's great coffee shop, little boutiques and stuff. I'll walk anywhere, truly. I walk like, 10,000 steps or whatever.
I was going to ask, how many steps are you getting a day?
Yeah, I'm getting, there's a lot. I'm walking a lot in these ballet flats, I'll tell you that.
And then some days when you're angry, one day a month, you're getting even more when you go to run.
I'll whip out the running shoes. Yeah.
Then you're at like 20.
Yeah.
It's over. Yeah. And you're making friends on the West Side Highway.
Exactly.
Who need to go to the ambulance.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm obsessed. What are your favorite stores to shop at right now? You have the cutest clothes.
Oh my gosh. I really love Damson Matter.
Me too. I just placed the biggest order for them.
Yeah, they're based out of London. I actually met their team. I messaged them. I was like, hello, I'd love to meet you guys because they've sent me stuff before. Ganni. I went to the Ganni showroom in Copenhagen.
That's amazing.
I almost passed out when I saw them DM me. So I'm wearing Ganni. I really like Mango as well. I'm trying to think of what other ones. Abercrombie. Honestly, don't sleep on Abercrombie.
Love Abercrombie.
I got some good stuff.
I wore this red dress from Abercrombie the other day. I've never in my life gotten more compliments and then also sold more of like a commission link ever in my life. I wear Abercrombie like almost daily at this point.
Free People. What am I saying? Free People is,
I live in my Free People overalls. Yeah. That's my summer vibe is my overalls. I have
shortalls and long.
Yes.
Regular. All
of them. I don't discriminate. I'll do any. I will do any. I even got some dresses.
Yeah.
Like that's really the vibe.
Yeah. I found a shirt that even if you sweat, there's no sweat mark.
What is it?
I'll send you the link.
Okay, yeah. I need that.
Yeah.
Especially this summer. Like I can't even.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah.
Who are your current favorite content creators?
Do you know, I think it's like Lissy Lulu.
No, but I love that name.
So she has this ragdoll cat And she makes content, and she is so cute. Her fashion is pristine, and she has the most aesthetic house. It's really colorful. I don't think she's in California. I don't know, but I love her. You need to follow her.
I love her just the name.
Yeah, yeah. And then Kate Davidson, she's got like beautiful hair. She makes really good content. She makes like cooking content as well. I love her. It's cool too now being a content creator. Like she follows me back. I'm like, oh my God, you know?
There's nothing like that like niche influencer that you follow that you're obsessed with. And then when they follow you,
you're like, okay, I'm going to play it cool now.
No,
like,
and then I'm like thinking about like them watching my stuff and
yeah.
like, you know?
Yeah. Like, oh, and then I really like the Lisbon fashion influencers.
I need to get on this train.
Yeah, I love their style. Really inspired by everything they do. Rita Montezuma, I think is how you say it. She's got just impeccable taste in fashion.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I'm going to follow everyone.
Yeah.
I trust your taste, you know?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Where can all the girls find you?
TikTok and Instagram. My Instagram is Anna, ANNA _Barger. Barger. And then, my TikTok is just Anna Barger. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.